YouTubers? I am Jason Wiersema. This is Tankers Fantasy Football, and we are going to get into some Week 5 waiver wires for you guys. But before we do, I just like to give a little appreciation out there. Last week we hit our first 40 like video. I think both videos are right around the, I think one has 42. The last time I checked, the other one had 38. And we had over 2,000 views combined between the two videos. So I absolutely appreciate the love out there in the fantasy football YouTube community. But you know, I had this little bit of hope, you know, like maybe by the end of the season, Tankers Fantasy can have a 50 like video. I know, that's crazy. That's shooting for the stars, boys, and I might be a little bit off my rocker thinking we can get to 50, but I don't know. I mean, you know, that's setting the bar high, but not too high out there. So we're gonna get right into it. Before we do, I like to, you know, maybe you hit us a subscribe, maybe you don't, maybe you throw us a like, maybe you don't, maybe you go fuck yourself out there. But we're gonna go out in Week 5 and we're gonna get you some running backs, wide receivers, couple quarterbacks, couple tight ends, maybe think about on your waiver wires. We had A.J. Brown go out there, scored 2 touchdowns this week, only had the 3 receptions. Did look like a grown-ass man out there. Did look like he maybe #1 over Corey Davis moving forward. He's only 29% owned, and he's probably even less owned in a lot of your leagues because that's 29% owned in my FFPC, the 12 team, the big money, the high competition leagues. He's 29% owned in that. So, hey, he might be down to 10, 15% owned in a lot of your leagues as well. We got Golden Tate. He's looking to come back from a suspension. He's surprisingly still a 70% owned in a lot of my leagues. So people have been holding on for Golden Tate for a month, waiting for him to come back. I think that's a little bit irrational, but if he is still available in your league in full point PPR, I would definitely give Golden Tate a look. Geronimo Allison, he's about 50% owned out there. MVS is a little bit higher, like a 65, 70% owned, so we're not really going to get into him too much. But Geronimo Allison either gets in the end zone or he is not targeted at all. Week 1, he didn't have any targets. Week 2, he got in the end zone. Week 3, he didn't have any targets. Week 4, last week, he got himself into the end zone. But if Devontae Adams in this turf toe situation is going to make him miss any kind of maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 weeks out there, Geronimo Allison is definitely worth an add and definitely flex play consideration until Devontae Adams comes back. All right, we got Mohamed Sanu. I know Mohamed Sanu, he just kind of like bummed the luck. He's just always a waiver wire darling. He just sits there on your waiver wire. He's like the Kevin Folk back in the day. He's just always available. He's always on the top of the available waiver wire players. But you look at it, and it's not really that bad. He's 47% owned, 57 or more yards in 3 of 4 games this year, including each game he had 57 or more yards. He had double-digit fantasy points in. So, I mean, you could do a lot worse, I guess, on bye weeks than Mohamed Sanu. So, if he is available, I would go out there and give him another look. Cole Beasley, another type of guy that everybody just doesn't give any credit for. He's kind of a full-point PPR guy only. But it's the type of guy that you kind of like having on your bench. I mean, the guy went out there, he's got 23 targets these last 2 weeks combined. And he's got 12 or more PPR points in 3 of the 4 weeks this season. I mean, he's not sexy, but I mean, that means you can probably go out there and get him for cheap, probably 4 or 5% of your, you know, fab dollars out there. And I mean, if he's going to continue to get these double-digit targets a week, he is definitely worth a bye week flex play look, and maybe even a solid flex play in deeper leagues. We got Darrell Williams. I know he's kind of been out there going against the Chiefs, or been the starting running back for the Chiefs these last couple weeks, but he's still only 39% owned, even in my big money leagues. He's got 25 touches these last 2 weeks, and he's made those touches into 34.5 full point PPR points. So that is pretty good production out of the 25 touches. As long as Damian Williams is inactive, I expect this guy to continue to get in the double-digit touches a week. And if that's the case, we're talking about flex play options right there. We got Damian Harris for the Patriots. I know he's only been active in 1 game. He hasn't touched the ball in any single game. He's only really played special teams when he was active. But Sony Michel, like I said last week, has looked pretty puke filth garbage out there. So we're going to go ahead and, you know, it's like we got Damian Harris for $1 fab out there. We can get him for $1 fab. We can sit on him and just, and I think eventually Sony, I mean, Bill Belichick's going to get tired of Sony's bullshit. I think they're going to give Damian Harris, oh, look, and if that's the case, I mean, you can get him for $1 fab and stash him on your bench in some of these deeper leagues. I would be all in on that. Jay Ajayi, guy doesn't even have a team. He's somehow still 21% owned when he hasn't had a team all offseason and this season. But I mean, there's a couple teams out there maybe looking for a little bit running back needy. He's probably only a first and second round kind of a platoon kind of running back. But the running backs this week, waiver wire running backs are hurting. So I'm not, you know, if you really need to get a bench stash, I would give Jay Ajayi a look. One more running back. We got Jordan Wilkins. Marlon Mack seemed to bang up his ankle late in that game. He did not return. Jordan Wilkins and Nyheim Hines, if Nyheim Hines is still available in your league. But Wilkins is only 14% owned. That's why we are talking about him here. I mean, the guy will probably get that first and second down look. He did it in week 3. He did show a little bit of spunk. He did have that long touchdown run in week 3. I'm not saying he's as talented as Marlon Mack, but this Colts offensive line is pretty damn good. So if Jordan Wilkins is looking to get 12 to 15 carries a game, if Marlon Mack is missing, I think Jordan Wilkins can be a solid RB3 flex play for you in week 5 if Marlon Mack does miss time. We got some tight ends. Both of them are kind of coming off suspension. Ben Watson might be coming back. Ben Watson's coming back for the Patriots, and Chris Herndon, he's not coming back this week because they had the bye week last week, so his 4-game suspension is into week 5. So Herndon won't be back till next week. So if he's still available in your league, you can probably still get him on the cheap since he isn't going to play this weekend out there. We got some quarterbacks there. Jameis Winston, I'm not really sure if I'm a believer quite yet, but my goodness, I mean, bipolar deluxe Jameis Winston, you never really know what you're going to get. But if you are hurting at quarterback, you could do a lot worse than a guy who gets to throw it to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and O.J. Howard on a regular basis. All right, we got some Minshew out there. Still did look solid. I mean, he's not really #1 stun. He's not really, you know, sexy deluxe. He's not, you know, making you feel happy time in your pants or whatsoever. But we're talking about 2 quarterback leagues. We're talking about super flex leagues. I think Minshew, if he's still available, is worth an add in your leagues as well. All right, you like the cut of my jib? Give us a subscribe. Mash the shit out of that like button. We do appreciate some good like button mashing around here at Tankers Fantasy Football. Let's get those likes back into that 40 realm, and hopefully by the end of the season, boys, we can plummet those likes into the 50 like realm. If we get a 50 like video before the end of the season, boys, I will. I'll be on cloud 9 out there. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow. Probably do some buy low, sell high week 5 action late tomorrow night, and then we'll do some matchups probably late Wednesday, maybe early Thursday out there. All right, holler at me.
I'm hot as fuck, bitch.